Daily Dispatch powered by HSBC. I'm Priya Sheikh. Joining me on this conversation is the first unicorn of 2022. I have with me Varun Alagh from Mamaearth. Thank you very much, Varun. I know Mamaearth is under the Honasa umbrella, where you have other brands as well. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, firstly, your unicorn status, because 2022 has brought in that along with a lot of funds as well. So tell us a little bit about what this means to you and what journey forward looks like.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show. So it's a milestone for sure, and a milestone worth celebrating, like all other milestones are. But then a milestone which one should also look at as a milestone only, and then start looking forward. And that's what we have been doing. And while we celebrated the moment where it was, now we have moved on and we are looking at bigger future for the organization. And the funds that we have raised basically will be invested in three areas. One is continuing the disruptive growth through driving awareness, as well as increasing our distribution, especially in offline. Continue building new brands, and that's been on our minds, and that's a strong focus area for the organization for the last couple of years. Derma company is what we launched 2 years back, which has done phenomenally, hit 100 crore run rate this month. And we've also launched two more brands, Aqualogica and Ayuga, in the last quarter, which are in the hydration and Ayurveda space. So continue to build more brands for Indian millennials in the beauty and personal care space. And we'd look to also explore new routes of growth, be it new markets, as well as possibly inorganic acquisitions. So I think that's what we're going to focus on.
Right. It's a very interesting journey that you're looking forward to. But Varun, I want to talk to you a little bit about what are the key metrics that you're going to be looking at in 2022. Because when you look at growth rates, profitability, these kind of numbers, the business has come to that stage where these numbers matter now going forward. So tell us a little bit about what would be the key metrics that you've been focusing on.
So I think, we generally divide our North Stars into 5 or 6 big areas, right? And a few of them, like you rightly pointed out, are quality of business metrics, right? I mean, overall top line growth, then profitability, thirdly, working capital, and number of days working capital. And then a few other areas which are more consumer oriented, which is our NPS with consumers, how many of them are recommending us, right? Our brand metrics in terms of the pyramid metrics, they are a contribution of innovation to our growth, and some of the new engine contributions to our growth as well. So I think those are all the metrics that we focus on. And of course, team engagement and employee engagement is very critical for us. We've been a great place to work for the last 2 years consistently, and we'd like to sort of continue to be on that path.
Right. And I want to talk a little bit about what the product pipeline looks like in 2022, both for Mamaearth as well as for Derma company. Tell us a little bit on what we can expect. Are there new categories that you're going to be launching? Lots of exciting things.
So in case of Mamaearth, and innovation is at the heart of our business. So we would always continue to listen to our consumers and figure out what is the new category or ingredient trend that they're looking forward to. In case of Mamaearth, I think the two strategic categories that we are getting into this year, one would be color care, which is basically the entire color cosmetics category. But from a Mamaearth angle, it's about care, not just about cosmetics. So how do you make skin friendly color cosmetics? How do you deliver certified color cosmetics? So that's what the team has been working on, and we'll see that getting launched in the market this year. We're also getting into fragrances and again, organic alcohol-based, made safe certified fragrances, which have their own appeal in the market, is what we are looking at doing. And then, of course, continuing doubling down on our current categories like skin, hair, is also something that we will continue to do.
Right. I also want to talk a little bit about acquisitions because, a lot of growth has been happening via acquisitions across the startup space. We're seeing a lot of consolidation happening across categories. So tell us a little bit about, are there specific areas of interest? Because I'm not going to ask you whether you're going to make an acquisition or not, but I'm going to ask you what are the areas of interest that you may be exploring.
So I think firstly, we very strongly believe that while buying is far easier than building, right? Because buying only needs money, building needs capability, right? So our priority one continues to be building brands. And like I said, right, I think the Derma company hitting 100 crore run rate mark in just 2 years, which is almost 10 months earlier than when Mamaearth hit it, right, is a clear testimony of the fact that the company has capability to build brands. And that capability is priority one for us. But then we also are aware that there might be certain categories like, a category like hair color, right, or category like color cosmetics, where we might not have natural strengths as we speak. And if we find great acquisitions in that space, we would look forward to growing inorganically through them as well.
Right. Varun, I want to talk a little bit about, overseas expansion. You did mention briefly that there are new geographies that you would be looking at building presence in. What's the game plan out there? Will you be setting up units? What is the larger game plan for international expansion?
So there are a few core markets of interest, GCC being one, which is the UAE and Middle East cluster, South Asia being other, which is the Nepal, Bangladesh cluster, and then Southeast Asia being the third. Right? I think we're looking at all of these three markets. We're dipping our feet, trying to get some fundamentals in place. This year, we'll also be putting in resourcing and team in place, right? And get the basic levers in there, and start building the foundation for building a strong business in these markets, and then over time invest in marketing to sort of scale the brand.
Right. A final question before I let you go on revenue numbers, Varun. What kind of revenue targets do you have over the next 2 to 3 years? What kind of revenue plans?
Yeah, I mean, we want to continue growing at a disruptive pace. I think from a 3-year horizon, I would say we would be looking at anywhere between a 40 to 50% CAGR growth from where we are, right, over the next 3 years.
All right, Varun. Thanks very much for joining us today. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for your time.